Good morning. I hope you can all hear me okay. I hope everything's going all right. I have the same concerns every single flippin' day. So I am only a learner, okay? So if everyone could let me know that this is all going okay, that would be fantastic. Stephen Webb was first cab off the rank, but I think that's because he's in my Discord. So I always post a link in there first so he gets a heads up for when I'm doing things. Joshua, Susu, that's Simlish for hello. I'm glad you're trying to learn the language. We will not be continuing our Breed Out the Ugly challenge today because I needed a little break from it. It was getting a little bit frustrating. I found it a little bit more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Good morning, Carl P. Hi, Kaz. That's okay. You go do your homeschooling. I'm feeling sorry for you all in lockdown. Good day, Daz. Hi, Sanaj. I don't know if you guys know, but do say hello to Sanaj in the chat because this is a person that I know in real life. He is a great friend of my family's. So make sure you all say good day to him. So I'm presuming the 3 thumbs up, Joshua, means that I'm good to go, that you can all hear me okay, which I hope you can. Okay, so hello. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Okay, I hope you're having a super morning. It's actually pretty chilly here. If you're not, I'm really, really sorry, but I'm really glad you're here. So welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time visiting, well, hello there. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you spending your very valuable time at my tiny little corner of the internet. Hi, Kane. Okay, today I was thinking, what am I going to do? And I thought I'll give you a tour of my sketchbook. Now, I can't obviously put it all in because I draw quite prolifically and I've been drawing prolifically for a lot of years. So I thought I'll just pick out a select few that I already have some photos of and I'll show you. Now, artists' minds are strange and wonderful places. Sometimes they're filled with light and whimsical fantasy, and other times you find yourself in a dark corner of horrors. Now, not everything that gets put into a sketchbook becomes a great artwork. Sometimes it's just a doodle, like if you doodle when you're on the phone or something, I do that. Or it might be just I doodle in my journals, in my diaries. Or sometimes I may just be thinking about something, but I keep my hands busy by drawing something else. Sometimes, especially with like therapy drawings and things, it's actually too difficult for me to actually talk about what I'm trying to say. So it's easier for me to just put it into a quick sketch and then it seems to like purge it in a miniature way. So allow me to take you on a small sample of some of my sketches. Okay. So you'll find common themes. Okay, Kane, that's good. You do a good job, okay? You find common themes in my sketches, and I think I really feel off if I don't draw or sketch at least once a day. I am a drawer. I mean, I do painting. I do all kinds of painting. I do abstract art. I do photorealistic, like portraits. You know, I do them of veterans in particular. But drawing is my thing, and it always has been, even from before I became a tattoo artist. I was always drawing as a child. And I'm just a drawer. That's my thing. Mostly with pencils, chalks, like soft pastels, or pen even. So I will draw gum leaves and gum nuts and gum blossoms, an awful lot. You'll find them to be a reoccurring theme. One, because I love Australia. I think we really are the lucky country, and I love our nation, and I think we have one of the most beautiful like wildernesses, and it's so unique, and I really find them really good to just doodle. Now whenever I'm like drawing a lighthouse or something, this is like a half finished sketch. The lighthouse usually represents like my faith, and it's an anchor, and it's like a beacon, like something I can always go back to so I don't get too lost out there in life, which is always good. So here is just one little sketch. And I also like to sometimes frame my sketches so they make a shape also at the same time. So you can see the negative space of the light from that lighthouse is actually helps make up the actual shape, which is kind of like this weird oval sideways egg shape. And you'll notice there's a little love heart down the bottom. Sometimes I don't fully sign my name. I'll just draw a little love heart and that'll be my signature on it. Okay, this was actually a therapy drawing. Now this actually is shining, exactly, because that's the same sort of thing, is that I want to be like a beacon for other people who've had struggles, and that, especially with like mental health issues, and that it can be a really dirty word and people don't want to talk about it and that. But the truth is, that's why there's so many misconceptions about it, is because we don't talk about it. So like I've said before, I'll just shine that little light and maybe someone else will see it and be able to come out of the darkness from it. Now, this is a self-portrait. Sometimes I used to, when I was in the tattoo shop, and if it was ever quiet, which it rarely wasn't, but sometimes I'd have 10 minutes on my hand, I'd do these drawings, which became known as the contents of my handbag drawings. JP would know what I was talking about. But they wouldn't necessarily be what was in my handbag. It would be as if I'd just spilled out lots of little random objects and the illusion of them just laying on a table. And quite often there'd be like a little figure like this lady. Now, I drew this after some therapy that I had, and I think it's kind of telling that the eyes are empty and she's almost just like a rag doll, she's just laying there in a kind of awkward position, so it's very strange. But I don't question my therapy drawings. They are just how I'm feeling at the time. And sometimes after a therapy session, I do feel really empty, which may be a good thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's quite a neat little drawing. It's a very small little drawing, as you can see it there next to the size of the pencil that I drew it with. But that was just a quick sketch. And most of these only take me maybe 10 minutes. The lighthouse would have taken me longer, but this would be no more than a 10-minute sketch, I'd say. And the hair, you might notice, is not drawn with outlines. That's actually drawn with an eraser. So I'll put down a level of shade, and then I'll get an eraser which I'll cut to make a sharp edge, and then I'll do the strands of hair, You could look at it that way, Kaz. You could look at it that way. I could be about to pole dance the pencil. That's actually not a bad idea for a picture. Maybe I'll draw that one day. Okay, this is a small detail from a larger sketch. Sorry, my dog's getting jealous again. Apache, it's okay. I love you the most. But I'm allowed to talk to other people. Okay? Sorry, my dog's so jealous of you guys. We've all met people like this who put on a mask and seem really great, but behind the mask, they're a totally different person. So often when I'm just sketching, I will let out sort of how I feel about what's been going on in my life. Like this was done a lot of years ago. And I'll be letting out how I feel about certain people I've met, or situations I've been in, and I will kind of symbolize it, and all the people I've met. Like I've got a whole book of monsters of people that I've met that I've just transformed into what sort of monster are they. Yeah, exactly, Kaz. Yeah, because there's always someone who can see behind that mask, and it might be your master, so don't drink from the chalice. Okay, now these, I loved sketching these. This is like a little 5-minute drawing, okay? This one's really small. But the beauty of this picture, hello, Bravo Charlie. It's always nice to see you when you can join us. That's always lovely. We are so blessed to have you here. This one is the actual pattern is made up from the negative space. So the beauty of this design is it's all about finding beauty in what's not there. So if you look at the vines and the flowers and the leaves, they actually don't really exist except in outline, and then they're all in this shape of this butterfly. So again, I will have just drawn roughly the butterfly shape first, and then I will have put where I want the vines and the flowers to go, and then I will have used a cut up eraser, and I will have coloured it really not coloured it, by taking away. So it's about what you take away more than what you add. So, okay, now this is one of a number of little sketches I have done. Now, as you know, I spent the greater part of my life raising children. I've raised a lot of children, but some of you won't know that I've actually lost a few children. So, and that's very, very difficult for me to process. So I tend to, when I'm drawing infants, and especially when they're like this, in an abstract sort of, you'll notice that this vine around this infant makes a love heart, and so this is about an infant that I've lost. So it's quite a sad sort of feeling, but in my mind to sort of, I guess I process it it's intimate between me and this child that I never actually got to meet, that I never actually got the chance to raise. So, and I always seem to draw them in growing, like with plants and things like that. So, I mean, this plant even has a butterfly wing, but you'll notice the love heart, which the baby is holding on to too. So I don't know, maybe my psychologist could look at that one more deeply than me. This is a sketch that I was going to make in Kaz, look, it's life, isn't it? We all have things that happen that are awful and bad, and we just, pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and carry on. There's not much else to be said about that. This is like an optical illusion. This was a design that I thought, often I'll sketch things that I think, that'll make a good tattoo, but let me just sketch it down first quickly. And this is like some hands ripping through the person with like holding some rosary beads. And I think I actually did make this into a tattoo design, and it looked really good because you'll notice the stretch and pull of the pencil lines down there. I wish I knew which way I was pointing, like there. You see the pencil pulls there. They look really, really effective on in tattoos. Live action, exactly. Hey, Brady, how you going? Sometimes when I'm talking to people, this is actually one of my diaries. Sometimes I actually don't have any words for what's happened that day. And I do draw a lot of scrolls and a lot of ribbons folding in on themselves. But when it comes to my diary, sometimes there just isn't any words. And this is very rough. You'll see cross-hatching, it's just lines really put together. But I really like the idea of using gravity and wind and that to wind things around each other. And the main thing with these, if you're ever going to try and draw a banner or a ribbon, is to keep the thickness, the parallel lines that make up the thickness, to try and keep them even, of course, unless they're in the foreground versus the background. So it's to get some movement. But I didn't have any words for what had happened this day. So this was all my diary said on this day. So it's okay too. Okay, and then this is a pretty difficult one. This is again a therapy picture. Sometimes my therapist will actually allow me to draw while I'm in therapy, and they actually, like a tapeworm. I love drawing worms and things like that. I was asked to write a victim impact statement. Because I once upon a time, people had encouraged me to try and get some compensation for what had happened to me, but I just cannot go through the process. It's just too hurtful for me. I cannot go through the actual court process that would be involved in receiving any sort of compensation. I mean, I'm not fragile in life generally, but when it comes to my own trauma, I am extremely fragile. And instead of being able to write down my victim impact statement, this was all that came out, So this was absolutely it. This was all I could think of. You want me to tell you how this has affected me? This is how I've been affected. This is how I feel. This is everything that's happened to me, but just all put together at once. So, this was about a relationship, Kaz, and this is how I felt, And I mean, I tried to escape for a long, long time, and I think that's why there's all these hands holding me and grabbing me, and I feel like there's not one part of me that hasn't been sort of violated or damaged or hurt in a way. So this is, even if you look at the hands, this is actually quite a much longer picture, and you'll notice the entrails that are being pulled out of me actually go down to fall into a pile if you saw the bottom of the picture. But the hands on the thighs, I think the way they're pushing into the skin might indicate some sort of horror that I'm probably not going to talk about right here, right now. But this picture I just decided to call, again, it's a very quick sketch. I decided to call, this is my victim impact statement. How do I put that into words? How do I put it into words how much I've been affected? I can't without reliving it, and I just don't want to do that. I spend my days trying not to. Some days I will draw a lot. Like, I will just spend an afternoon. I am quick at drawing, but I will just spend an afternoon drawing, to me, meaningless designs like these. These are not meaningful designs to me. They are just like motifs. They're just pretty lines and pictures and butterflies, and again, probably useful to be tattoos. In fact, I think all of these ended up becoming tattoo designs. But well, that's a hard question to answer, Kaz. I think you just start with the basic like line of action, and then you do the basic outline of what shape you want to end up with, and then usually I dig down as opposed to build up, because I'll dig down what's got to go down first, and then when I've got to build up, I will usually use it with highlights, like with my eraser and that. Good morning, Stickman. So these would have all been drawn in one morning, or in a matter of, they look like they're actually been finished in pen. So I'd say probably maybe a few hours or something, because they don't have any great depth to them. They are just pretty pictures. And that's fine. It's quite therapeutic for my brain, especially, like I said, you'll notice a lot of vines, you'll notice a lot of flowers, because I love nature. I love flowers. I love my garden. You should all know that about me by now. And and I love tattoos too. So it's never a waste for me to just doodle something that can be used to be a tattoo. This is another therapy picture. This was like my past, my present, and my future, but I couldn't really see any difference between them all other than whichever face you're looking at. So it was kind of a strange picture indeed, but it's just this is how I feel quite often. I feel like I'm sort of a bit stuck, and I think PTSD can leave you feeling like you're living in two different times. Like you're time traveling, really. You're living both at the time of your trauma incidents and now, which can lead to a disconnect in who you are and what you do. So I think that's probably what this is. And there's always seems to be with my therapy pictures this sort of empty gaze. I can put expression into pictures easy. I do it often, and paintings, but I never seem to with therapy pictures. That's just not on purpose. That's just how they come out. Again, I love drawing gum nuts and gum blossoms, and I love wattle. The softness of wattle blossoms is a real challenge to draw. Yeah, I guess it is, Kaz. But I love drawing the blossoms when they're just about to come, like, how if you've ever looked at a gum blossom and before they've actually popped out into the full blossom, they wear these little caps, and you'll see down the bottom there. Which way do I point? That way. What am I doing? Okay, you see down in that area, there's a wattle blossom which is just about to pop its cap off and then come into bloom, and I love it. I love it. I love them. And of course there's my beloved cross in the middle too. So, and these gum leaves never get boring because they twist and they turn and they have these little jagged edges and they're so great. Sometimes when I'm sketching, I will be sketching a way that I've interpreted a piece of scripture, or the way that because you all know that I am a woman of faith, and this to me is maybe what it looked like from heaven when Jesus was on the cross. And you'll see that love heart, and the vines. He is the vine, and he's also the dresser, and he is, it's basically John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was basically everything. So it depends on how you look at the cross, and this is a beautiful way to look at the cross. And I've had some people say to me, oh, but it looks like he's got horns. Well, so what? So what if he does look like that? Did he not invent them? It's like Narnia, all those, because he was a very faithful man, C.S. Lewis, and Narnia is all about heaven and heavenly creatures and earth, and how they're waiting for Father Christmas to come back, and Father Christmas being God. So it's those, like Mr. Tumnus, maybe we've no idea what sort of creations there are. There's probably more than we can imagine. Again, I do study my Bible, and I will, especially if because I do like my alone time, and because I'm never really alone because of my faith. And this is a little sketch of me and my God, having our alone time. It's just tiny little me holding on to his finger like my Heavenly Father, and he's there holding me, So it's, like I said, reoccurring themes. Sorry, I'll just get my cup of tea because I'm still recovering. It was a bad cold, but I'm feeling a lot better, by the way. So this is actually quite sweet. It would have been from a piece of scripture that I will have just been reading there. Again, with the blank eyes, but sometimes this is probably just a study. Sometimes I'll be just studying face shapes, and ear placements and things like that. And you might notice all of these actually have a different shape of face. Now, what I do is you may not know this about me, I'm a doll maker. So I make an awful lot of dolls, and I'm particularly known for making paper dolls. So I will actually use these faces as bases for my paper dolls. But at the same time, I'm processing something when I actually design them. So, my first memory verse was from Galatians, Stickman, and Galatians, I think it was 11. And it was, if I should still be a pleaser of man, I should not be a servant of Christ. So it's basically whatever, I don't need to care what you think. It's kind of telling that was my first memory verse. These are more of my dolls. Like I make paper dolls. I've actually been making paper dolls for my whole life. In fact, I've got a book. I got given it by my mother. She'd kept all my paper dolls I made as a child. One day I should show you, because I used to do these full-on dynasties, like there were whole families, and then they'd have grandchildren, and then there'd be great-grandchildren and that. So I'd make these whole great big stories, and I used to play with these paper dolls. And so then I got to making paper dolls, not just for myself, but for my daughters. And now I make paper dolls for my granddaughters. I've sold paper dolls. I actually really love paper dolls, and my paper dolls are pretty different. So these are actually just drafts that what I'll do is I'll then probably photocopy these. Are all on tracing paper to fit the doll, and I'll photocopy them so that then I can provide them in different colors. And I make all sorts of paper dolls, from like medieval paper dolls all the way through to like Cupid dolls, and I make tattooed sailor dolls and all kinds of dolls. I actually love my doll making. So you may not have known that about me, actually. I don't know if I've mentioned that I'm a doll maker. This was actually a Bible study that left me thinking of something very deep. And I think it's from Corinthians. Yeah, exactly, Daz. Exactly. It's like my game. Yeah, I even make paper doll houses. I'm pretty famous for that. Yeah, of course, Stephen Webb. And you know what? If that's the only one you ever know, that's enough. Okay. This is from Corinthians, and the verse goes, It's not quite, it's not certain what we will become, but we haven't become it yet. So this is all about me transforming, like it's almost a fluid sort of movement of, I can imagine that this is just a snapshot of actually a like full on animation of things turning and moving and going in and out. So I really enjoyed playing with the gravity of this one, like the drips from the fingers going down and pulling down. So in a way, I suppose you could call this bioorganic. But then there's that face in the middle. And if you also look between the two characters, with their arms sort of out there, the ones with the dripping hands, there's these really spooky, like hooded figures in between them. And that's the mystery. That's we don't know what we'll become. This is I'm a work in progress. Who knows? Who knows what I'll become? So I never limit my potential, okay? I know I've got challenges, but I try to find ways around them. Like here, exactly, Stickman, there's no point living if you're not learning. And like coming here for me, it's actually, I've been really depressed lately. You guys wouldn't know that. Kaz probably knows that. But I've also had my anxiety a bit triggered by some things. Someone I dearly love was getting stalked, and not to make it all about me, I was frightened for her, but that also triggered in me the times I've been stalked, and it was really scary, So, see you, Joshua. Tag. I'm so glad you're learning Simlish. And so I've been really doing badly, but coming here every morning is like my doctors even say, I wouldn't get any society really, only a very small circle. Like I said to you, to say hello to Sanaj and I've known him since he was a little boy. His mother is one of the most amazing, wonderful people. So other than a few people in my little town, I don't get much society. So it's really good for me to come here. So even though there's challenges, I'm not going to limit my potential to find a way around them. Okay, so I don't really want to go to anyone's parties or things around here, but I can come here and I can talk to you guys and I can have that society and that humans are gregarious creatures. We're like pigeons. We need to be around each other and we need to be communicating with each other. And it's easy for me to communicate with you guys because I know a lot of you guys have your own struggles at times too, so I can be pretty open about it. Again, with the gum leaves and gum blossoms, there's one with its little cap on, not quite come off as well. And these little, in Australia, it doesn't seem to matter what tree you get. I think I've noticed them on mainly like peppermint trees, like that Agonis flexiosa, I think it's called. And you get these little round bulbous bits with little dots in them, and I'm not even sure what they are. Like, I'm not even sure if it's a tree disease or something, but I love them. They're beautiful. And again, this is one of those that negative space pictures. So the design is actually what's not there as opposed to being what is there, which is very little. But this is actually a corner of a page because sometimes I make like things for when I write people letters, Hey, Nicole L. Yeah, exactly. And we feel like that, right? We love Australia. It is the lucky country. It's a beautiful place. In fact, Tasmania is beautiful. Wherever I look, I can see wilderness and nature. I can be in the capital in Hobart and I still can see nature and wilderness. Now that is amazing. Again, surprise, surprise, more gum leaves and more gum blossoms because, and look at what I really love are the little things you may not even notice. Like if you look at the sticks down the bottom and the way they go, have a really close look at a gum stick. Not a big one, just a little. Yeah, I was heavily influenced by May Gibbs as a child, as I think a lot of us were, Stephen Webb. I really, my mother used to read to me Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie. I was terrified of the Banksia men. Like I used to have nightmares about those Banksia men. But they're, Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie. She was a legend, May Gibbs. Yeah, you're right, Stick Man. Exactly. I don't really want you to all move here and stink it up, but it is a beautiful place. I can't even hide it. It is God's country, really. It's worth the being chilly because even that has its own beauty because you can go play in the snow. But yeah, if you ever have a close look at gum sticks, look at the way they have these little bulbs where a leaf will come off it, and that have a really close look at them. They're really quite amazing. Hands. I draw a lot of hands, and which is funny because a lot of artists, the big bad Banksia men, they were scary. I used to have nightmares about them when I was a kid, and they looked horrible, but they did look like Banksias. A lot of artists have trouble with hands, and you can always tell when someone's nervous about hands or feet because they'll actually avoid drawing them. They'll hide them in the picture somehow. But I love drawing hands. I taught myself how to do it. It took a long time to learn how to draw hands, but I did it. No, so that's fine, Simon. We're just having a quick look through some of my sketches today, just taking you on a little sketchbook tour. Again, with the gum leaves, these are, and the wattle in a love heart, and some stars. I probably should have done the Southern Cross in there. Maybe I could redo that one and put the Southern Cross in the middle of that starry night. I wonder why I didn't. Maybe I did, but badly. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked at these pictures. So it's quite, again, gum nuts, a few gum blossoms, but wattle, I love it. I don't draw it to be Australiana. It's just such a part of my life and how I grew up running through the bush and, playing, we used to make cubby houses in the bush, but all they existed of was like a little swept out bit with rocks around it, and that was your cubby house, in the middle of the bush. And in WA we had those big giant prickles, you had to be careful of them. But it's I think I get very, very inspired. Like Rose will bring me, if she finds some different sort of gum nuts, or she'll bring me a branch of gum leaves and that, and I love it, and I will always draw them. Oh, surprise, surprise, here's Lauren drawing some more gum nuts and gum blossoms again. But I can't hide from it. I love them. And they are actually really... But I actually get a bit sick of the hate on Southern Cross tattoos. I think I want to reclaim them. I actually drew an entire flash sheet collection of Southern Cross tattoos that were different than what people normally get. Because I've got no problem with the movement behind it. I've no problem with the Eureka flag and things like that. I've no problem with the Southern Cross tattoos, except that they all seem to get the same one. So same as Ned Kelly tattoos. I used to get a bit sick of doing them, the same ones. So I ended up designing my own sheet of flash that gave people more options and more ways of doing them. I even did all feminine Southern Crosses and that, not total bogan Southern Crosses. So they, I'm trying to reclaim that. I'm trying to reclaim the Southern Cross from becoming seen as a negative symbol, because it's really something quite unique to us, and it's very beautiful, in fact. And it's actually a recurring theme in a lot of my drawings. Again, just the doodling that will become tattoos one day. Hopefully someone will get them. But you know what? No hate there. No hate, BC. I actually get it. I like them. And that's why I want to reinvent them, so that they don't keep getting hate. And because it makes it too easy for sometimes people to stereotype you for having one. So I think we need to reinvent them. I'm always worried the same design over and over. That's the problem. And my father was always very worried that American culture would just take over Australian culture, and we would have none left. So I've made a very, very conscious effort in my life to make sure I keep Australian words in my vernacular, to make sure I draw Australian pictures, because I have an international audience with my artwork. And I do include there, like I tell stories of our amazing bushrangers and Eureka Stockade, which was basically just us giving them a finger. We've never been free. Australians have never been free. We don't. We know that, okay? We know we've been suppressed since the beginning. But it's yeah, exactly. The best bogan is a self-aware bogan. Exactly. At least you're not an esche. There's a total difference there, okay? That needs to be wiped out, okay? But yeah, the keeping Australian things in the culture is kind of my way of fighting back against a cultural takeover. And I've been doing it so long now that it's just become my thing. There's always something Australian in there. Poppies like these are always also a... come on, Kaz. Don't tell me that he picked it with a fork. He did not. He might have worn pirate sleeves, but he never picked a tattoo with a fork, because that may affect our friendship, BC. If you picked a tattoo with a fork, come on. Poppies are another reoccurring theme, and that's because of my connection to veteran community and the Australian Army, and how much I respect them, because I also don't want that part of Australian culture to die either. I want people, we promised we'd never forget. So I intend to keep that promise, and I intend to keep it in at people's minds so that they don't forget either. Okay. Oh, here's some more gum leaves, but I like to think they're all a little bit different. Again, this is a corner page. I probably wrote a note on it and posted it off to someone. But this was just drawn with ballpoint pen. So that's the beauty of gum leaves. I could draw them in my sleep now, I think. I've drawn so many. A Chad Morgan tattoo. Come on now that's going too far. We can do better than that. We can do better than Chad Morgan, I'm sure. Again, like I said, I like to make I put a design, but I like to put it in a shape. So I'll make like this circular design, which I actually had some stained glass artists want to make into stained glass. So I don't think they've done it as of yet, but if they do, I will keep you updated, because it's rather beautiful. I love cramming pictures or little things into a shape. Of course, I love it, and sort of went through this stage where I was obsessed with circles. So I still am sometimes, but not as bad anymore. I got to leave me alone. That's got to be dad joke of the day, Kaz. You win that one. That's all that homeschooling for you. Your dad jokes have just gone to level expert. Okay, butterflies. You'll see them a lot. And I know that they represent like freedom and all this stuff, but I don't think that's why I'm drawing them. I think I'm drawing them because in the tattoo shop, you just draw so many butterflies that they just become second nature to you. And on this particular picture, you can see where one of my pencil, you can see where I've drawn to follow that curly like antenna, because you must have a flow. You can't just stick a line here and then have another bit coming out there. It has to actually flow. So that bit will get rubbed out. I imagine it already did. But butterflies, I don't think it's because it maybe my brain's drawing them because they're symbolizing freedom, but maybe they do you know, Kaz, crop circles, JP used to have a tattoo customer that we used to call Alien Bob, right? Because he was so into aliens. He was always talking to us about aliens. And Sanaj, please don't. I've done so many of them. I can't actually complain about them. They fed my children for a lot of years. The whole barbed armband, the barbed wire armband. Alien Bob used to come in and get crop circle tattoos. There's a reason he was JP's customer, because I didn't need to be spending 2 hours with Alien Bob, I can tell you that much. But he used to get crop circles tattooed on him. Now, this is just randomness. I actually remember drawing this, and does make a lovely shape. It's like a half sleeve sort of shape. Even when I'm drawing things that aren't for tattoos, I think I've drawn so many tattoos that I just now am sort of stuck. We may as well have tattooed a tinfoil hat on him, Daz, because he just permanently had one. Apache, it's okay that I'm talking to other people. Come here. I've got to love my dog at the same time. Sorry. He gets so jealous. You're just a jealous guy. Come on now. And I love like vines, but I also love putting these like little circles on them. Like, are they blossoms? Are they leaves about to bud? I don't know. But this is a play on negative space, which is the shape that's not made up by the actual design. So again, with the poppies, because like I said, I feel like I didn't serve myself, but I feel as an artist, the least I can do is to keep it in people's memory, because I take every promise I make very seriously. I don't make many. And, well, you could see the dog, but he's so big. Like, if I sat him on my knee, you would really... I'm going to suffer. I'll try. Pesci, come on. Come up here. Come on, big boy. They want to see you. Come on. Do you want to cuddle mummy? Come on. Cuddle mummy. Come on. Do you want to cuddle mummy? Come on, you can jump up. Come on. No, he's too big. I would suffer if he came and sat on my knee right now, okay? He's a big boy. He's a Irish wolfhound crossed with a Labrador, so he's really huge, but he loves me so much that he gets so jealous when I'm talking to anybody but him. So I feel like it's my duty. Oh, he stinks though. Excuse me, you smell like the pits of hell. What have you been into? Don't look at me like that. Oh my God. I'm so glad he didn't sit on my knee now. No, don't look at me like that. Oh my God, that's disgusting. All right, we're just going to... Imaginary dog. Come on, Kaz, you know he's not imaginary. You've seen pictures of him. You've seen videos of him. He's not imaginary. You're not imaginary. That smell is not imaginary. I can tell you that right now. It's thick. Yuck. It's disgusting. All right. What was I saying? Poppies. I feel like it's my duty as an artist to keep in the cultural conversation, reminding everybody that we all promised we wouldn't forget. So that's why I do it. And this is the last one that I want to show you. Yes. People have seen my dog. Kaz, I often send Kaz videos of me cuddling my dog, okay? Come on now, Stickman. There is no way. It actually smelt like the sulfur pits of hell. There is no way a human could produce that sort of smell. Oh, come on. He's real. He's just too big for me to lift. Do I have to lift my dog up to show him to you? Pesci, come here. Come on. Come here. Come to mummy. Come on, jump up. Come on, up you get. Come here. Get up. Oh, he doesn't want to. See, he doesn't want to get up. You're making make him cry. Come on, Pesh. Come on, jump up. Come on, yours. Okay, I'm going to show you my dog on stream one day, right? I'm going to get him his own chair so he can sit here. Yeah, this is what happens to me quite often. If I ever disappear, this is all I'm doing. I'm just sort of hiding a little bit, okay? I like to hide sometimes. I'm okay. But if I do disappear for too long, my friend... Cass. If I do disappear for too long, my friends will always just check on me. So don't worry about me too much if I disappear. But I do sometimes have to disappear. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just hiding a little bit. I'm just cuddling up. Isn't this what you two were like when you had to go down that thing where it was really high? Weren't you two both doing that? So don't worry about me if I disappear sometimes. I'm okay. I actually do it just for myself because that's me just cuddling up in my paper, in my own artwork. It's as deep as you want to make it. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here this morning. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. It was so great to see you all here. BC, it's always nice to see you. I hope you can make it more often. And Kaz, thank you so much for giving me your time. I very much appreciate it. I know you're a very busy man, and everybody else. So I hope you all have a super, super day. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up because I actually appreciate it. Then I know that you like what I'm doing. And I hope you enjoyed just one of a little tiny section. We could do another sketchbook tour one day. I could do painting tours. I could do all kinds of tours. But my dog is real, okay? He is real. You are going to see him. I'm going to get him his own chair so he can sit next to me next time, okay? Maybe tomorrow I will have a Pashi sitting right here next to me. You might regret that though, because he gets very jealous. Okay, so until tomorrow, which might be a little bit later again. Sorry, guys. I do have a few appointments, and it has been very, very cold lately. So, you know, it's a bit harder for me to get moving in the mornings. So I will see you all later. As always, love and kisses. Bye, everyone.